Welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video. My name is Ashley. I'm going to be showing you 3 different meals I made this week. I don't always follow recipes exactly, but if you are interested, I have linked some similar recipes down below. The first dinner I'm going to show you is some chicken lo mein. So here I am just chopping up one chicken breast into bite-sized pieces. I am trying to do it like the Chinese restaurants do and not cut them into cubes, but rather than slices. So now I'm just going to marinate the chicken in some soy sauce and some chili garlic sauce. And then I'm just going to pour in a little bit of the sauce mixture that I made. For the vegetables, I'm going to use an onion, a bell pepper, and some carrots. For my onion, I'm just going to chop them up into strips. And then I'm just going to do the same thing to my red bell pepper. This was like one of the weirdest bell peppers I found. And then I'm just going to cut them up into about 1-inch pieces. To a pan, I'm just going to add some oil, my onions, and some garlic. So I'm just going to saute those around until they start becoming soft, and then I'm just going to add my chicken. I'm going to cook the chicken until it's all the way cooked through, and then I'm going to add my bell peppers and my carrots. I'm just going to cook these up until the bell peppers have softened and add in my noodles. My big mistake here, I think, was adding too much noodles. I should have only done half the pack because the ratio of vegetables and chicken to the noodles were way off. Nonetheless, I just improvised, so I'm adding in my green onion, and then I'm just going to add in more sauce. I used some kung pao sauce, some more soy sauce, and just made it until I was happy. So this is how the dish looked once I added in all my extra sauce. I just served it with some pot stickers on the side. The next dinner I'm going to show you is some Parmesan garlic butter chicken over seasoned rice. So to get my rice out of the way, I just do 1 cup of white rice, 2 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I also add in some parsley flakes, and I'm going to mix it all around, bring it to a boil, and put a lid on it. So next I'm going to work on the chicken. I just cut 1 chicken breast in half and then cut them in half again. So I am just going to dip the chicken into an egg wash and then dip it into a Parmesan flour breadcrumb mixture. So I'm going to get started on my vegetable. I'm just going to use some frozen broccoli. I let it thaw out a little bit. Now I am just adding some Italian seasoning and some garlic salt. This will go back in the oven at about 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. So for my chicken, I'm going to work on frying the chicken. I just added some oil to a pan. The pan is set on about medium heat. I'm going to cook them on both sides until they're golden brown and cooked all the way through. When they're done, I'm just going to place them on a cooling rack to dry. So I went ahead and cleaned off the pan, and now I'm going to start on the garlic butter sauce. So I'm just adding some butter, some garlic, and some lemon juice, and I'm going to bring it up to a simmer. I also added in some dry parsley flakes into the sauce. My fiance is a huge fan of lemon, so I asked him how lemony he wants it, and he did say he wanted it pretty lemony. So then I'm just going to add the chicken back into the pan. I'm going to bring it up to a boil or a simmer and put a lid on it. This is how everything looked when it was done, just a nice, wholesome American meal. So the next dinner was my favorite of the week. It was some loaded tostadas. I'm just going to cook 2 chicken breasts in my Instant Pot, so I'm just going to lightly season them with some garlic salt and some cumin because I do season it when it comes out. I then set my Instant Pot to 19 minutes to cook the chicken. So I'm going to work on my Mexican rice. To a pan, I'm just going to add a little bit of oil and 1 cup of white rice. I'm just going to stir this around until it's nice and toasted. I am then going to add half a teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I am then going to add 4 ounces of tomato sauce. For 1 cup of rice, I'm going to add 2 cups of water. And then I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon and 1 teaspoon of tomato bouillon. I'm then going to bring it up into a rapid simmer and put a lid on it and turn the heat down. I just started to bake my refried beans, so I am just going to empty them into a small little baking dish, and then I'm going to put some Monterey Jack cheese on top. This will go in the oven at about 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm just going to start chopping up my toppings for the tostadas. Here I am just chopping up some iceberg lettuce. I actually believe I prefer iceberg lettuce over cabbage for topping some Mexican food. And then I'm going to do the same to a tomato. I'm just going to dice up some tomatoes. My fiance is not a huge fan of tomatoes, so I didn't do too much of it. And then I'm going to chop up some cilantro. One hack I know is to roll your cilantro before you cut it. So when the chicken was done, I just took it out of the crock pot, and now I'm going to shred it up.
Wow, where are we going? My bad.
I'm going to season it some more with some garlic salt, some cumin, some lime juice, and some paprika. To keep it warm while I go ahead and fry the tostadas, I'm just going to wrap it up with some plastic wrap. Frying your tostada shells tastes 10 times better than the store-bought tostada shells. I tell everyone that, so I just go ahead and fry up. I had 2 and my fiance had 4. No, I think he only ate 3. But this is how everything looked once it was done. Thank you so much for watching this week's What's for Dinner video. Make sure you come back next week for another one.